I got a new phone just for development. This is one of the Pixel phones. It's not the newest ones. Memory's just been cleared, so it's as good as new. And one of the first things I wanted to do is, well, last year I got a new car, and the car has Android Auto on it. So while I've made Android applications before, making an application for Android Auto is a little different. So that's what I want to get started with. Now, before I do that, I want to get the phone set up so that I can, and my computer set up so I can do development, because of course I'm not going to have the phone connected to my car while I'm developing. So let's take a look at what I needed to do. Now, the first thing I've done is I've gone into settings on this Pixel phone, and I need to enable the developer mode by tapping on the build number several times. So, you know, if you open up, after that, if I open up settings on the system within developer options, I need to make sure that I enable at least the USB debugging option. I also enabled the wireless debugging option here and changed one other option just based purely on my preferences. My IDE was running, so I did get a prompt for authorization. But now the phone is ready to start doing regular Android development. Now I want to make sure I had the latest version of Android Auto. So I did go into the Play Store, I searched for Android Auto, and then I updated it. You know, I want to point out that when you're just looking on the phone itself, if you're looking around there, you don't see an icon for Android Auto in the applications. It does show up in the system menu. So I went in the system, I went to the settings, then apps notifications, and I looked for the Android Auto app. And from there, if I touch the icon on the settings, then it will open up the additional settings that there are. Now, if you click on the three dots that are in the upper right corner, you saw there's only like 2 options there. So development isn't enabled yet. Now, if I tap on the version number rapidly several times, I get a prompt asking if I'd like to enable development settings. And now that I have, you can see there's some new options in there. So I need to select the Start Head Unit Server. Once you select that, then the device is ready to start to be used for development. Now, looking on my development computer, I went to developer.android.com. And once you get there, if you scroll down in the page, you'll see a link somewhere for downloading Android Studio. It'll probably be in a different place in the page when you look at this, just depending on how they've moved their page around. So you hit accept an agreement, let the file download, and then open it when it completes. So I'm going to let it download here. I'm actually cutting some time out. You don't need to see the whole download in process. Okay, the download's complete. I've opened the file and it's starting the installation. Now, most of this installation is just going to be clicking on the next button a bunch of times. So you've done this before. There's not really a whole lot to see or talk about here. So skipping ahead. Okay, so it gets done. It starts the Android Studio. Once again, I'm just going to be clicking on Next. There are some additional things that it's going to need to download. So you accept the agreements here, and once again, click on Next. Oh, I'm sorry, you click on Finish. So it does some downloads, and then when we open it up, you're going to click on the gear icon for settings and then open up the SDK manager. Now select any other SDKs that you want to download, but then go to the SDK Tools tab. Within SDK Tools, you want to check the box that says Android Auto Desktop Head Unit Emulator. And yes, that is a mouthful to say. Once you've done that, click on OK, and it'll start to download. So this takes a while. We're going to go ahead and skip to where it is complete. Now I've opened up a command terminal here, and I've navigated to my Android SDK folder. One of the things that did is it installed some new things on the hard drive that I'm going to be able to use for Android Auto development. So we want to start the desktop head unit.exe. But when I started up this first time, you see the window open, but then it closes and it's failed. And that's because there's a command I have to run. Now you need to run the command adb.exe space forward space TCP colon 5277 space, and then once again TCP colon 5277. After that command has been run, if I run the desktop head unit application again, then it opens up the Android Auto console. And so on the right side of the screen, we can see what my phone is showing. On the left side, that is the Android Auto console. So since this phone is recently reset, this opens up into Google Maps, and Google Maps has never run before, so now I'm being prompted for permission. Whenever you get prompted for permission, it'll direct you to complete that prompt on the device. So I'm giving Google Maps location permission, and now it has that permission and Google Maps has opened up. Now clicking around within here, everything runs as though we're on Android Auto. Functionally, I can't find that there's any difference. So this is a setup that you'll want to do on your device, on your development machine, just so that it's in a state to run Android Auto applications. Out of the box, by default, it does not have these additional tools installed on it. So you want to do this first, and then you can start doing development and testing from your machine.